invested in extracting that valuable resource, converting into power, and then supplying it to the towns of Rabaul or the rest of East New Britain province. So all it needs is an investor who has the resources, who has the know-how to be able to make feasibility studies, and if the power that is generated from that source is commercially enough, then it can simply enter into a power purchase agreement with PNG Power where it can supply power to those towns and the rest of our West East New Britain province at an agreed rate, and the geothermal energy can be harvested and converted to energy for our power. So PNG Power is ready to work with our good member for Rabaul, and any investor who is interested in investing the money to harvest that resource, enter into a power purchase agreement, sell it to PNG Power. PNG Power will then use that resource to supply power to our people of East New Britain province. That is even in the absence of a policy. So whether the policy is drafted earlier or later, it does not matter in my opinion. That is a resource that can be harvested anytime. So PNG Power stands ready to work with our good member for Rabaul to be able to harvest that very valuable resource. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Governor for Madang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question without notice goes to the Minister for Health and HIV. I'd like the Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology and the Prime Minister to take note. Mr. Speaker, my question regards Modilon General Hospital in Madang. Firstly, I'd like to thank the Health Minister for a tremendous job so far. He sort of took office and hit the ground running, but unfortunately he hasn't arrived in Madang yet. So let me put him up to speed with the significance of Modilon General Hospital and how the hospital is doing. So, Mr. Speaker, by way of background, Modilon General Hospital was established in 1963. The only major rehabilitation was done in 1994 through the assistance of the Japanese government. And at this juncture, I'd like to thank the Japanese government and the people of Japan for the continued support and assistance to the people of Madang in this country. Mr. Speaker, due to negligence by past administration and management of the hospital, the main hospital facility building has deteriorated to an extent where it is now condemned and undergoing maintenance. Because of that, most of my sick patients from Madang have been turned away to seek medical assistance elsewhere. That includes private clinics and pharmacies in town, which we all know that it's costly. So, Mr. Speaker, a couple of weeks ago, I've witnessed 66 students from the Lutheran University of Papua New Guinea School of Nursing graduated after being trained from this hospital. Also, Mr. Speaker, about a month ago, a good minister for higher education has also witnessed about 196 medical students from the University of Divine Word School of Medicine and Health Science graduated. And Mr. Speaker, the sad fact is this: those students come from all over the country to attend schools in Madang, these two universities in Madang, and they've been trained under or in that rundown and partially closed hospital facility of Modilon General Hospital. Mr. Speaker, I would like us to take special note of the significance of Modilon General Hospital in the country. Mr. Speaker, Modilon General Hospital is the only hospital outside of Port Moresby and is the only hospital, apart from Port Moresby General Hospital, that does not only provide medical health care services to the people of Madang, but also trains medical students and medical doctors that go out throughout this country to save the lives of the very people who have sent us to this house. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there has been a significant oversight by successive governments, including this government, on the importance of Modilon General Hospital, Mr. Speaker.
Madam, ask a question or you are debating?
Mr. Speaker,
Or you?
I'm just
your
arriving to the
grievance?
question. If you can give me a minute.
We have grievance debate after this question time. So you can have an opportunity to air your grievances. But right now I would ask you to ask your question to the minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. All people blooming simbarap no dai to LK services sila kadri we gamman no kloranim so. Me got 1 minute that's all na me ask him question now. So you ask him so me ask him now. Mr. Speaker, question blooming come to you now. Mr. Speaker, my question is that does the government have any plans to maintain and rehabilitate Modilon General Hospital in Madang so that it can produce a conducive environment, not only to treat the sick patients, but also train the medical students that are attending the 2 universities in Madang province? Is there any plan? That's my first question. Second question is this, Mr. Speaker. If there is a plan, then how soon can the government implement that plan? And thirdly, Mr. Speaker, if there is no plan at all, can the government, let me ask him now, elevate the status of Modilon General Hospital to a level 6 provincial referral and teaching hospital, so that it does not only provide healthcare services to my people of Madang, but also provide conducive environment for training for the students attending the 2 universities, the Ziwanwood University and the Lutheran University of Papua New Guinea. Mr. Speaker, you ask him so, me ask him also, let me lose him also to you. Thank you.
Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank the good Governor for Madang for these very, very important questions. Firstly, Madang PHA is a very, very important, as all the other PHAs in the country. Madang Modilon Hospital serves or provides training for the students at Ziwanwood University, HCO training there, nurses there doing training as well. We fully know of their need to improve that particular facility. Firstly, Madang or PHA was appropriated at 15 million kina in 2023 to improve infrastructure there. According to the reports, that funding still remains in the department through the HSW funds. That funding has never been used to date. So that's a serious concern to us, and we need to work with the department is working closely with PHA Madang to make sure that they do the necessary infrastructure improvement at Modilon Hospital. Secondly, Madang PHA received up to 83 million kina lo this year budget, 83 million kina long PHA lo Madang tasalo this year, and plenty money through. Lo desla 45 million kina igolo la personal monuments. There's a 10 million kina funding to all the PHs in the country every year to improve infrastructure block, PIP funds, 10 million kina. Total money go all PHs this year, 1.5 billion kina, low PHs that's all. And there's a record of funding going to all the PHs. We are fully monitoring that. We established a PMU or project monitoring unit at the department to see that this funding is not only on the budget, but make sure it's fully utilized and appropriate properly to be used for the right purposes. Many PHs are not utilizing these funds properly. I've visited many of the provinces, seeing the hospitals, planted long all the reflection of the PHs, reflect also only no looking money, but
Lo report lo yumi. There's funding going to all the PHs every year. There's an increased level of funding going to all the PHs. For meeting 83 million kina go all this year. And more management na board. Lo make sure also almost using good money. Na improving facilities. Lo Sigman can stop inside lo hub. That's for meeting. So there's a lot of funding going through meeting. The governor, good governor, Dr. Bloyu. Yes, you will look savvy on need lo meeting because they providing medicinal training facility as PMG at Port Moresby Hospital. Now funding will go beyond this need. It's up to the PHA board and the team at the Moreland Hospital to make sure that they use the funding available to them to improve infrastructure. So, yes, because we have a national health plan, na all standards, meeting serves at the level 5 hospital. At level 6, one blood doesn't Papinikin, that's Port Moresby, PMCH. Serves at the National Referral Hospital. There is no need to have another level 6 again and by confusing standards. At the moment, they have level 6 and Umlatasola PMCH, but all the others are level 5 and level 5 provincial hospitals. But so the funding is going through. We're monitoring those funding and making sure that they deliver based on the funding that they're getting. Just so I have all the important points for me. We are improving, we have a plan for volume along Usiripundi district. Volume will be upgraded to level 4. One housing along Raikos 2 by level 4. These are under the IDB projects at the moment so that they relieve the pressure that's coming to Moreland Hospital. So some of the arrangements are being made. While on this note, I'd like to acknowledge Kerema, the Gulf Province. I was there Monday this week. Kerema, also Mrs. Toksavet Asol, Plandeline only are imitated also Kerema Pagarabna. Also a current pleasant Kamna from Kerema Kam, all mama. After delivery, they have to bring in all this waste from Kerema all the way to Port Moresby. For the first time after 50 years, they now have a fully functioning incinerator for the first time. So I acknowledge him, Chairman Bloyimulong, Kerema or Gulf VHA want them board, and CEO Law, kind of him. You see this money and make it work. They build a rundown operating theater that was not functioning for many years. Only fixing mortuary for the first time. They have now a 12 compartment unit. Ono mo kare mo body kala Port Moresby anymore. Funding you go, use the money and make it do something. So Toklo no got money. Government will give you money. So that's our responsibility. We commit funding because we got health plan and stuff. It's up to the provinces, the PHs to make sure that the funding is fully utilized so that all money can, all married man, all patients, economizing good all services. People, I see a lot of comments coming out from Moreland PHA. Moreland PHA will 100 million kina is a budget. 100 million kina, just imagine that. Plus 30 million for infrastructure. There's a lot of funding going. So just Mrs. Mickey mentioned if I have to go through all this list, 1.5 billion kina to all the PHAs, 800 million kina long PIP infrastructure, all the PHAs, there's a lot of funds. Government committing over 800 million kina to make sure that we have 10,000 additional workforce this year, low health workforce. So also Mrs. Mickey mentioned that's all long question to Governor meeting. Government is fully committed. We know actually what's happening there. We are committing funds and we are working closely with Meeting PHA to see that these funds are fully utilized properly. Thank you.
All honorable members, one for 5 minutes long. Ask him to talk sabe, I'm not harem nor chem. You mean now, bagalo grievance, but before you make a grievance, honorable members, over the grievance debate, time you go finish long, you must stop, note him. But plenty point all members of parliament is a regime. Emi got meaning law. Now usat by take note lo desla na I make him walk come up this law. So also Prime Minister, plenty all department all head lo time lo parliament mi salugi mo sa kam. And walk long all lo take him note lo desla. Now minister so all department all head no come. Please. You mean not wasting time, grievance debate, they go silip nothing. You must cut good way come up, grievance debate. Also, na grievance debate now, I'm open. Governor of Civic, me give you the set time, out in Bell Heavy Blade.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me before long me out in Liglig Bell Heavy, me like asking more some questions. That's all you know got time. So thank you, you look several long people belong in Civic. Before long me working Liglig grievance blomi. Me like just help Minister Liglig na. Me like give him invitation long all governors suppose you play got heavy long how PHA blue play work. Me like invite him you play long he come na. One pla governor I been companies na come visit him pla one them online blangem. Lo kisim samblas tia long ECPIC PHA. Me pla long ECPIC me pla building penis one pla level 5 hospital. Me pla building 2 one pla district housing cost him me pla 34 million. Me pla building 2 one pla polyclinic and it cost him 4 million. Na me pla build him narpla polyclinic ken long Tarawai Island M2 by cost him around 4 million. Na well banki look sabe long good pla work long PHA ananit long leadership long Pastor Max Manimbi na CEO Matthew Kalubia. Na only by give him some more money lo me pla by building narpla 10 pla polyclinic round him ECPIC province. Me like encourage him you pla also. Suppose you got good governance inside long this pla all kind all entity also in PHA, plenty good pla work come up by come. This year too, me play ready na contract he go out finish. He take me pla 1 year, lo kisim approval, lo clearance long state solicitor, so that me pla can give him contract lo build him house lo doctor. But me amamas lo talk also me pla by working groundbreaking long, build him all house where money come long health department, health minister me talk straight. Is I got good pla look sabe lo all get a PHA where all is I give him money. So thank you. Health Minister, but please, something blow line in my, you know, you me all get a savel, all get a something. Me got 13 years lo work one time PHA na. Also na me play got good lo work come up stop long is civic. So me like encourage me blow governor no can shoot him talk lo PHA. You play welcome lo come na look him how. Or lig line lo civic work him na two civic train him tupla leaders where now tupla gonna run him tupla narpla PHA around the country. So me like commend him PHA belong civic lo good lo work belong him. Grievance from me, Mr. Speaker. Me been like asking also some question. Me putting me along Prime Minister also head long National Executive Council. Mr. Speaker, in 1997, almost 30 years ago now, one big bureau I been come up long Papua New Guinea, I been come up long all got half world, only call him also El Nino. Me bla sambla been involved long working relief work lo this time. Me been Halibim mi stop yet one time Moktedi company na. Telephone mi noksap mi ni bin fire lo this time big dry season ni come up mi sa some highlands to inogat kai na Australian government ni bin giving big halibim long all balus long long through kai gondab long supporting all people blow mi blandab lo highlands. Now all scientists blow world na all scientists blow mi to lo here lo Papua New Guinea long meteorological society blow mi only tokol sem. One pla next El Nino emi ready now and by start by come up lo next moon. Na by ronigo big heavy by me bungim around September October. Na by finish probably lo March next year. Big bagarap by come up inside lo country blue me. Now online been start lo 1997 na oli sabe boli sa also Indonesia been fire lo this time all forest long Indonesia. Na sumuk na esis long Indonesia been come pundown lo Papua New Guinea. And big la bagarap straight. There's a time 60% long rural Papua New Guinea and kisim heavy. All got island blow me kisim heavy, Mr. Speaker. Now all scientists all sabe man blow me only talk all same. Narabla Kenny come and by west the 1997. Mr. Speaker, these are 30-year cyclical events that happen around the globe. So our learned people are telling us, warning us that we should get ready. Now I appreciate that the government has committed a lot of money to the man-made fuel crisis that is affecting our country. And we all appreciate the assistance the government is giving. And also in light of the fact that we have elections next year, which is going to require significant funding, as I have already alluded to earlier. But more than that, Mr. Speaker, if this El Nino is going to be worse than the last one, then we would have to assume that up to 60% of our rural population, perhaps more, will be affected. So I would like to ask the government to put together a bipartisan committee, if we can, to look at getting prepared for this event. I would also like to ask the government to consider organizations like NARI. I was fortunate to visit NARI with the Minister for Dehurst recently, and I was happy to note that NARI is working on a lot of drought-resistant crops. But Mr. Speaker, these crops will need to be planted next month and distributed widely, particularly sweet potato, cassava, and there are some other legume crops that NARI has been breeding for some time. Now, we would have to deploy that fairly quickly, because if we don't, government is going to be stuck with a very large food bill. Nalugol Sem, one kind of 1997, we might be asking the Australian government for help again. But the fact is that we need to start getting prepared as a country. And Mibla Olgara along South Pacific by Kisim Desla Heavy, na Papua New Guinea by Nonap Long Abrus. On top of that, Mr. Speaker, following very large, significant El Nino events, nature aims a comeback na Bekim one than what they call a La Nina event. The La Nina is usually a very heavy wet season that follows the significant dry season. When the La Nina comes, and by Bagarabi Molrot Plomibla, by got plenty landslips because ground emi dry start na where I come na I go inside. So, Mr. Speaker, the science is well documented. I am simply echoing what some of our learned scientists are already aware of, and I know it's been mentioned in the paper. But I'd like to say that as a country, we need to get prepared. And hence, I am using this opportunity to place the government on notice and to request the Prime Minister and his front bench to start taking a serious look, because this event is going to begin next month. The Pacific Ocean is currently heating up. That's already confirmed by scientists in Hawaii who are monitoring this. And so we are already going to see impact of it in our part of the world. Ino gudla lo yumi ay pas nating na go na pundown, ino also heavy we America na Israel kamapim long lo Iran we cause him a fuel problem. This is nature, and nature is giving us an indication that it's coming. And it would be wise for us to take note, Mr. Speaker, and it would be wise for us to get ready for it when it does occur. That's my grievance, and I thank you. Grievance debate for today, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Governor Ablong Enga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me to join him. All other leaders, lo total long grievance blame me. Lo one electorate na me like taking this opportunity. Firstly, long talk. Thank you, long Marabe Rosso government. Long look survey long efforts blame me lo province long province blame me la province in terms of law and order. Me look survey lo plenty resource national government. Work long spending lo maintaining peace long province. Now me the big Bahamas long government blame me lo finally after many years me work lo total lo this parliament long involving one plus Australian, also PPC, long Enga province. And now in the early days, that's all me can talk in this parliament. Now two country, also this looks away from government, Lo Salim, one plus Australian officer. He come to province below me, he walk lo Karib Keke. And me saw him also. Suppose you got right man, right experience, the man is neutral, and you can come up and change long police force. Police force is so important. Agency of government. All got another agency, and good all the two is important. That's all. Suppose he gives him police right, plenty something in country by go straight. So me gives him this opportunity. Thank you after so many years, Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, for your support, and especially former Minister, long the Honourable Peter Simile, long pursuing this agenda blomi. Me believe most, suppose me na harim talk blomi, sample 10 years ago, finish. And more got a problem in the facing me, law and order, corruption. You know, Napkamba. So me was thinking Prime Minister, me like talk away on government or some. The Australian government rule on this arrangement. He agreed on giving Narbla 3 law officer, the Albion Milo building capacity, the police, the province Plomina, me like him, me, Los me, Deputy Prime Minister, and Minister Secondary, ensure some display 3 law officer back home. Now, make him come up on the role model. And my one top province, that too, is all one blumi, that all Paul stop so. And good blood, look, him all this kind line he come. Improving police force. You can work him on all activity, but if we don't sort out the police issue, make him effective, and by me approach him, well improve him this country. So whilst I have had the benefit of having this Australian officer, Mr. Steve Harris, for the last couple of months, me start looking kage blongemna, me like committing government, na me like asking government to continue long. This triple man must come quick. And beyond want to think me got longen. How long manage him low na hold up for the long term. You know now so. And by sustaining management long low now order the province for me in the long term. And especially with the program mine contributing so much to this province, this country. And good blouse and government come on board and I mean like we got this sustainable long-term strategy where we the province put him and we must work him come up. One time this do me like talk savera long parliament too long leadership of government. What's in Pogoraya and contribute 30 years finish, 30 years plus. Now we got 32, right? 32 years. This highway I start long Tokoba go long Pogoraya and bush track here. Some people same. You know, in Apple me totolo this la na totolo government supposed to me. I think good plan look I am kaya come up Pogoraya. I'm I blame you kada. You know blow lenga so. All people blow meeting was a mina walking work at wasting 30 years. Talk me working stuff in the government. Now you may look him benefit blow Pogoraya this country so me asking my government long seriously. Put in some project below me or you may road stuff. All right, more important too, that's all. You must maintain him this revenue come to Pogoraya, so you may try and give him a priority. Now make sure send this highway from Tokoba to Pogoraya. Time Pogoraya finish. That's all by me all him stuff. People playing Bahama stuff and abolishing good road stuff. So me appeal on government, look on display. Now make sure he can upgrade him. Display road. At this point in time, tax credit, after more than 1 year of operation in Pogoraya, you mean of accessing, you got some kind of legal e-cap or talk. I think it's more better Prime Minister and you may long government. You may hurry up him. So plenty, now I'm planning up long highway between Wabeg and Pogoraya and Bagrab. Looks to old man carrying car stop, yeah? So you need long fix him so. Mr. Speaker, I'm that's all to thank you for giving me opportunity.
Honorable Leader of Government Business, Member Long.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, lo give him look save long special region long Bougainville, lo this la Friday long grievance debate. Honorable Speaker. Grievance below me this morning, and me long walkabout, long Bougainville peace agreement, the referendum result, and the responsibility of this House. Mr. Speaker, as this Honorable House approaches the eventual consideration of the Bougainville peace agreement referendum result, I respectfully submit that we must look beyond the legal text, the political positions, and the constitutional provisions alone. We must remember who we are, Mr. Speaker. This Parliament is not merely a chamber created by law. It is the modern expression of an ancient tradition of governance practiced across our islands, coastlines, mountains and valleys for thousands of years. Long before constitutions were written, long before governments were formed, and long before colonial boundaries were drawn, our ancestors governed themselves through dialogue, consensus, respect, reciprocity, reconciliation, and collective responsibility. Mr. Speaker, these are not foreign values. These are Melanesian values. These are the values that sustained our civilization across the Blue Pacific for generations. Mr. Speaker, the Bougainville Peace Agreement itself was born from those same Melanesian principles. It was founded upon victory over one another. It was founded upon reconciliation. It was founded upon forgiveness. It was founded upon the recognition that lasting peace can only be achieved when dignity is afforded to all parties. Mr. Speaker, the peace agreement therefore represents more than a political settlement. It represents a sacred covenant between the people of Bougainville and the people of Papua New Guinea. A covenant forged in sacrifice. A covenant forged in sorrow. A covenant in the shared determination that future generations would never again experience the pain of conflict. Mr. Speaker, as leaders, we are entrusted with the future of our nation. We must now ask ourselves foundational questions. When that referendum results is brought in by our good Minister for Bougainville Affairs, we must ask ourselves, what does yes look like? And equally important, what does no look like? Because neither answer exists in isolation. Both answers carry responsibilities. Both answers carry consequences. Both answers must be understood through the spirit of a Melanesian identity as ancient people of the Blue Pacific. Mr. Speaker, if this Parliament ultimately says yes, then yes must not be understood as breaking apart of a family. In the Melanesian culture, a family remains regardless of distance, status, or circumstances. A yes decision must therefore be understood as the transformation of a relationship, not the destruction of one. Yes must mean that Papua New Guinea and Bougainville continue forward as close neighbors, partners, and relatives, bound together by history, culture, faith, bloodlines, and mutual respect and interest. Yes means that the future generation inherit peace, certainty, and dignity. Yes must mean a carefully negotiated transition founded upon cooperation rather than confrontation. Yes must mean that while political structures may evolve, the Melanesian relationship between our peoples remains permanent. Mr. Speaker, likewise, if this Parliament ultimately says no, then no cannot simply mean rejection. No cannot simply mean dismissal. No cannot simply mean that the aspiration expressed by the people through the 97.7 have been heard but set aside. That would not be consistent with the Melanesian values, Mr. Speaker. A Melanesian no must carry responsibility. A Melanesian no must be accompanied by an alternative political pathway. A Melanesian no must offer a future that is greater, deeper, and more meaningful than the present arrangements. A Melanesian no must strengthen autonomy, dignity, self-governance, and partnership. A Melanesian no must answer honestly and respectfully the question that the future generation will ask one day. If not this path, then what pathway are we offering together as a family? Mr. Speaker, that is why the real issue before this Parliament is not whether one side wins or another side loses. The real issue is whether we have the wisdom to preserve peace regardless of the decision we will make. The real issue is whether we honor the spirit of the Bougainville Peace Agreement. The real issue is whether we continue to build a future based on trust rather than uncertainty. Mr. Speaker, our ancestors taught us that when families face difficult questions, they do not abandon one another. They gather, they listen, they speak honestly, they seek consensus, and they leave future generations stronger than they found them. That must be the spirit that guides this Parliament. Whether the answer is yes or whether the answer is no, the responsibility of this House remains the same. To preserve peace, to protect dignity, to honor the commitments, to respect democratic expression, to safeguard constitutional integrity, and above all, to strengthen the enduring Melanesian relationship that binds Bougainville and Papua New Guinea as one family of the Blue Pacific. History will not remember merely the decisions this Parliament makes. History will remember the spirit in which that decision was made. May that spirit be guided by wisdom, may it be guided by reconciliation, may it be guided by courage, and may it be guided by the ancient values of our Melanesian civilization that have sustained our people for generations and will continue to guide us for generations yet to come. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member of Loabao.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the people of Abau, I wish to bring forward a couple of grievances specifically for Abau, and then two with regards to two big national issues that I see. On the Abau issues, the Connect PNG component of the highway, whilst a lot of attention was made towards the opening and the excitement, 4 months have gone by, maintenance is zero. And so the bush that has been cut, it will now take 15 hours from 6 Mile here in Mosby to Alotau. That's a long, long drive. And so I'm asking the Minister for Works, please, and his secretary, can you undertake a maintenance program on this highway? Like everything, we build new things, but we forget to maintain them in everything. So while the half of the Magi Highway was falling apart, we started to build another new part connecting us to Alotau. Now that part is also falling apart together with the rest of the old part that was falling apart. And so being a national highway, on behalf of the people of Abau, I request that the Minister for Works and his secretary undertake a maintenance program at least for the next 6 months. That must include the two big bridges that were washed away that have not been repaired. These two bridges were put up by our Cloudy Bay Logging Company, not by the Department of Works or Highway. And second time now, the two bridges, Daraba and Magore, have been washed away. So if you are going to Alotau from 6 Mile, you have to be pedaled across from Magore side of the river and be picked up on the Margarita side. And so can the Minister for Works and his bridges director give priority attention to this highway? This is not Abau feeder road. This is the national highway, which much pride, and Prime Minister, you yourself rode on it. So footprint below you and finish now. So we have to go and clean it up again. So that's my first grievance on behalf of the people of Abau. The second grievance on behalf of the people of Abau is this, the very good answer given by the Minister for Petroleum, and thank you, Minister for Petroleum, who's not here, but he gave a very, very comprehensive answer to the set of questions that I asked. One of the issues that I raised was for awareness, information, and education in preparing the people so that they are organized and ready, including what are the business opportunities that the local people should pick up, and also help to build their capacity so that they participate. We understand that 4 years from now, if the drilling is positive, then 4 years from now, our country will start exporting oil from my side of the woods in Amazon Bay. in Abao. In view of my strong commitment for enormous benefits must be given first to the local people, I raised one issue that came to my notice yesterday, and I want the Minister for Petroleum to investigate and take note. And that is, despite agreements between Total and the local companies that have been formed, Total has appointed Argo Marine. Argo Marine is owned by Larry Endagali to handle all its vessel agency tasks, including pilotage, which is against the agreement between the landowners and Total. If this is true, this is the things that I would want to fight against. We don't want one part of the country taking over this type of businesses everywhere in the country. Energy. We already know this particular individual, I'm sorry I named it because it came to my notice, I withdraw the name, but that company is now moving into Abao now. While we have been prepared and we have organized a shipping arrangement to play the same, we know the pilotage issues, but somehow, all go na kisim display walk. Minister, please, can you stop this? Because we Abao people will not allow that company to go there. We will go in the sea, buy our popos, canoes, and block it. That's my grievance. So please, can we be fair in these benefit arrangements so that we have to remove this monopoly of some local companies that are taking monopoly because of the advantage they have now under the political circumstances. That's my grievance debate, please.
We have a point of order. Honorable Prime Minister.
The very learned and senior member of parliament is making politics over every and any issue, and he should withdraw this over current political circumstances. What evidence does he have that that company concerned secured those contracts under political circumstances? Mr. Speaker, this parliament etiquette is far higher than personal politics. The senior knows there's the standing order, there should be no inferences, no naming people who are not here to defend themselves. Mr. Speaker, you have to allow members of parliament to conduct themselves with high standard here. We expect better from a senior man like him.
Point of order, Shinoda.
Thank you, Speaker. I actually withdrew the name of the individual, so suppose our Prime Minister Wari am yet now, and politics too is tough. So that's a grievance directly coming from the people that are there, that's going to be directly affected. And my debate is, we don't want people who already are very well off coming over and taking over our businesses, the opportunities that we should be given. That's that argument that I want to debate on.
You know,
I still got two more points.
yeah, but I thought you said MP Nisa, you sit down and give point of order. But
No, I'm putting point of order. I'll send the
all
mission
right,
now.
okay.
Or you want me to sit down again?
No.
Thank you, Speaker. The third issue is I want to come back to the national general election. National general election. The entire country is now ready to move into this valued democratic process called the national elections in 2027. Being appointed the deputy chair of the Special Parliamentary Committee on the 2022 election assessment and the recommendations that I debated also the other day, two big issues. If you look at recommendation number 1, 2, and 3, and 5 of the 70 recommendations, the first one is on the Electoral Commission itself, its leadership, and its structure. The committee concluded that under the current structure and the past leadership, the 2022 elections were one of the worst ever held in the country. That has been recognized by the parliamentary committee as well as observers who came to observe our elections. And I want to thank the Prime Minister in his statement the other day with regards to the questions on the election matters. And that was his commitment to make sure that the next election must be free, safe, and fair. Free, fair, and safe. That's a commitment that the Prime Minister gave. And I also want to thank the Prime Minister for extending the acting appointment of the current acting electoral commissioner. In this view, it is wrong for the Electoral Commissioner Appointment Committee to make a decision to bring back people who have not performed at all, or in any NEC decisions. We cannot bring back departmental heads that never perform. It's wrong decision, automatically a wrong decision when decisions are made like that. So in this grievance debate, I'm strongly recommending that the committee must not consider former electoral commissioners being reappointed when the appointment is made, because we are going to go through the same process. And I'm very happy that the Prime Minister already undertook to make sure that the process is concluded and the proper appointment will be done. And I strongly recommend that that appointment be done at the earliest, because we've got 6 months finished now, and the planning and our arrangements and procurement have to begin now. Otherwise, it will be too late in the piece. Because in the last report, the Commander for Defense Force showed us a picture of about 20 vehicles that were ordered, but they arrived after the election came, because the funds were released very late in the piece. And we don't want that same thing to happen again. So that is. And the second big issue was the security. One was the Electoral Commission rearrangement, and in that recommendation of the reform of the Electoral Commission, we strongly recommended that there should not be one electoral commissioner. There should be 5 to make the decisions, special circumstance decisions. So not one is not good enough in this major event. We strongly recommended there should be 5 commissioners immediately appointed so that they take charge of the 2027 national general elections. And I strongly recommend that that recommendation be actioned by the executive government before the election takes place. The second biggest issue...
Honorable Member Bawem, time blue grievance.
Just mention this one. The second biggest issue was the security issue. Security issue was the big problem, and we do not want those who are responsible in the 2022 elections to take charge of the 2027 elections. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member Makam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yao Mastrulo, Iluk Savelo, Deputy Bloyuna, Member Blo Makamlo, Vim Sampla grievances Blongemlo, grievance debate, Sampla time Misa Sidan Lo Hapna, conducting grievance debate na vi Filimosem, Mimas Sanablo Flona, Outim Sampla Belevi Blomi. Mr. Speaker, Belevi Blomi, me like bring him lo, this like grievance debate. Me like join him queue one time, Governor Blo Medeng, no stop now, I'm going to side finish. One time, Minister of Law Health, M2 no stop, to play going to side finish. But you blow member of Parliament stop na, Prime Minister sit down, all ministers sit down na, me bring him this la, the heavy blow, you me law, work law health. Today, health come up one major issue through law country today. Me sit down law Parliament, law siya na miyare opposition is an law government. Na togol sem health system em bagarapol kita nogat marasin lo ausik all man sleep lo, corridor lo, ausik no got bed lo sleep. Oga that is heavy stuff, no got generator lo, running all equipment lo, ausik. All marasin sot na, all man buy marasin lo, table market. All man narasait karim all fake marasin kam na salim na. All man go buy cheap marasin. Government come up in policy lo, Yumi come up in give him free marasin long all man. But today all man go all health center na post lo Yumi all still buy marasin yet. You know all marasin and free. So this la issue em come up big la true. But Yumi by sanab lo side lo government side, opposition side, Yumi by sanab osem governor, honorable members of this house. Yumi plenty time by asking plenty question go minister na talk. Minister by you make him on him. Marasin him sort. Government igat policy blow. Help him na grab him this work blow. Ausi ko nogat. And plenty time you say make him sla talk lo parliament. But me sit down lo parliament. Tetem blow me lo parliament now. Na miare mol budget you me work lo put him down na successive government, all successive ministers, all hold him this portfolio. Miluki Muslim, they are really trying their best to make health be one of our major, something where Yumi by must improving, because Yumi over a man lo ya, Yumi by sick, but Yumi go through lo marasin yet, but Yumi go housing yet. Over a man marry. So over the successive government, Yumi no nap toggle sem, this la government ya, no been working good lo housing. Me stop na me looking, government work lo give him priority lo housing. Government work lo give him plenty money go lo housing. Plenty policy have been drafted. Now all minister we prime minister say maki molia. Prime minister no say maki mol man nothing lo work lo minister. All man he got experience lo work lo housing. Also we see minister lo health. Also current minister now I'm start. Minister me congratulate him you me look him lo WhatsApp group lo yumi yuksi wambla special award minus awem lo whatever up. Yeah, World Health Service giving wambla award lo minister lo yumi lo well performing work we are making, and I'm always being proud of what our minister is doing. Same as all previous ministers lo yumi we all hold him this portfolio like Dr. Pukate Musablohab, Musat Manem got big background long here. Dr. Lino is being a health minister before. Those people have a background of working in the hospital. Now they've got the know-how of improving. And I saw them working very hard, trying their best, and long all successive prime ministers. They do their very best improving hospital. But why not Governor Blomeden come complain now lo? Every blow, Marilon. Why na you blow the Narabla governors too by complain too? Na even Mibla member, lo 1 district, Mibla too by still complain because district blow Mibla. Asambla Ausik blow Mibla in operate. Ausik blow lo Makam, lo Mujing was already upgraded to level 4. Mibla, mi partner one time Molan also said now all walk him. Ausikia na, all machine all put him inside lo Ausikia. Ay, kai X-ray na all sambla machine no gat bengaoya stablo mujing. Lo health center blo mi. But it's not in operation for 5 years. No man go work lo disla Ausik. CEO blo, mi bla lo province go na open him na. Toki mi osem babi salim doktor na. Mi bla ba salim mo no ga wambla something kama. Na minister to go sem 100 million ol kisim ya. Now what did they do? Minister haste mi pla debate lo floor lo parliament lo bilum wanem ya. Digital wanem lo akwit lo bilum program ya. Platform ya bilum platform. We all asking mi pla lo mi pla ba akwitim simple 10 million kina mi pla kisim lo DSIP. Na 100 million. PHM Morbe kisim ya. Where do they acquit that money to? How did they acquit it? If that program is done for my simple 10 million kina, we only scrutinizing me long end. Why not this 100 million be on the same program. Talking more, report him this money, all carry me go to one district, province, provincial hospital. What did they do about that money? They are getting big money. They are doing all kinds of administration work, having higher costs. Even some administration, not only in health, but other departments. If you see the secretaries, they're going around with CPOs. They've got bodyguards. And we ordinary members don't have CPOs behind us. But they have CPOs. They have higher costs. How many higher costs will run after them? They sleep in hotel. They're traveling. They're spending money. And here, you colleague members sitting here, tomorrow you will go to election and you will be the person responsible answering those 100 million. They will tell you, the governor, where is that 100 million? Why is people sleeping at the corridor? Why there is no medicine? They will tell us, every members of electorate, why is your hospital or why is your small health center at post, they don't have medicine? Why do they? We are going to be the person accountable for all this laziness done by those people getting the millions of money which successive government have funded through. Like I've said, I've been here and I cannot criticize any government before and government today. All government have funded health because health is being our priority for us and our people. And every government, every successive government have put much money into improving health. But why is today we still complaining? And like the minister have said, there's millions of kina already funded to our provincial health. But this provincial health, where do they put that money? Tell them to acquit that money, minister. Tell them to acquit the money. Tell them to give the reports. And maybe give to us all the reports that we might know how many money has been given. I am sorry that my governor for Madang is embracing question, not knowing that there's been millions of money already sent to his hospital. And I might be not like Morobe. Now Miarem 100 million is there. But what did they do about that 100 million? And this health improvement in province is still lack. Also, Honorable Mr. Speaker, that is my grievance debate. Me raise him law. Me arem one Governor Blomereng staff na, Minister and talk na. I must thank every government, successive government, and every members of this parliament must not be seen carrying the blame that we are failing to improve those hospitals. We have failed to improve our health district. We have given simple 2 million kina to our DSIP, and we are carrying on that government institution or government function, which government in our block giving big money long and finish work him. Only not come work him, and they blame us for our simple 2 million kina given to our DSIP, and we will be answerable to our people during the election time about that. And these people, they will still run luxury life with those money and nothing will be done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member of Yalibu, Pangia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, by minute up some long time, but just a short few remarks lo legally grievance blow me. One play issue also you may ask him lo question time law this la 4.27%. Now I know a lot of politics will be played around this this particular issue, but you may put him aside now. You may try and addressing this law all facts now. How you can resolve him this issue. First talk also. You know got one play issue one time. Ownership na like law provincial government or landowners like more shares inside law this project. You know got one play issue law this law. But law 2009, Mr. Speaker, time you may working this big agreement, law benefit sharing agreement one time, or landowners na provincial government na, or planting line representing government, law Kokopo law 2009, na beyond all government you may coming up now. You may try to address this issue, but you saw it. I can heavy in Jumilo Road. This agreement may talk about no agreement with government also. All Narpla party too is signing. Na time you may sign him this agreement time. You may saw a content blow agreement, yeah.
Na content law agreement it talk very clearly also leno na promise of government babaim also sell or from the state. Why na Sumare government you working this decision? And some law me blessed stop with them Sumare law government law this time. And we were part of that decision and we take full responsibility. And because this la says you may lo LNG you may needing money lo you may go borrowing money lo buy this la say state had to pay for it. You know one blow free gift blow free carry and 2% as all land on us. All not play you may buy. There's a time you may buy Prime Minister may to stop Sepulchre stop or plan the honorable minister may bless stop the government blow Somare. I may bla agree lo you may mogojim says you may oil set you go lo Arab na you may borrow him money na you may pay him LNG says. This la LNG says here how you may benefit the government me like talk story na you may are. So time or land on I agree all sawa too also. Government pay him some loan na buy this law says. So all is sawa me got value blow only must repay him government for the loan or sim na buy this law say. So only agree lo this price I think of US 240 million kina per share. So Mr. Speaker, me like story also. This la money, you know, come lo one blah figure of money, imagine in the karmiga. No God. Governor blow me yet lo this time blow Southern Ireland, said this in Agiru. Sit down, I agree one time, government lo this time. So me blah agree lo this la. Time me blah come lo government lo 2014. Or me blah same month as well stop in the cabinet. Only Somare was in there. Now me blah you realize in no sem all Leno na run na wog lo pani money, provincial government wog lo run na pani money. They could not borrow enough money because one, they did not have the assets, na capacity. Lo borrow this la tribe la big la money. So cabinet in its wisdom, me decided most me by discounting this la price, it come down legally. I think it was discounted to 150 million kina US dollars per share. So time you may work in this land, me Tintin lo ask him Kumul Petroleum lo vendor financing. Using some revenue election there is a time lo dividend, na tax, na plenty or royalty, lo vendor financing na buy him sales blow. Time lo pay him this sales blow or lend on the provincial government by buy him land. So again look also plan the agencies blow government decide me blow tasking lo implement him all this decision. You know carry him out na you missed out this level where now 2026 come up. Na Prime Minister na government plan, he decided more but give him this last year, he go all lend on us because you may buy more the loan blow LNG finish. I'm good but you must announce him clearly we have free gifting this last year he go lend on na promise of them. You know can tanem toki go come lo Paul and Ball Tintin blow man na playing politics. Suppose this la me benefit must go lend on us, well let us transfer it properly. Give him all where now you saw plan the Olenona, he working good law business, only arranging good management skills blow, only setting up good law organization. Now only working accountable way of doing their own transactions, only appointing more director blow, good law way. And all this man. Only ready to manage all affairs blow. Now we know the inefficiencies, some blow line manageable landowners in interest too. But all now, landowners like managing or something, all Governor Agiru took clear Kokopo. I remember very well. I'm not like me, all politician will go and manage him or something. And you must learn him all Pablo money yet, the Pablo ground, the Pablo all natural resources, manage him blow yet. Suppose you make him free gift, please, learn him all go. Now, government or some low side leadership low level. The province of Miyet one time, Prime Minister na honorable, maybe like a serious conflict of interest. I'm online blue you me, I'm online on blue you me. We can't sit in government and make decisions that are only going to benefit one side. We have to think about the entire country. So some of the time you may learn more la responsibility called Narvalaman, Petroleum Minister staff, Finance Minister staff, Treasury staff. This kind of decisions can be seen as we are making it transparent, accountable, fair to the nation. So I'm urging Prime Minister, suppose I'm like working this special vehicle, Pepper Sego yet. You must rush with me. A lot of the swipe la provincial government want the landowners managing law yet. And you mean to talk of benefit close to hundreds of billions of kina coming through. Landowners 2% free carry pennies now they got another 4.27%, so 6.27% is, in my understanding, is a big money. The rest of the country, we're only going to get about 10% or less than 10%. I think you're supposed to be calculating. So even the country is making a sacrifice for this. Huge sacrifice. And there's like money, you can use it like plenty or something, and you miss storyline now, yeah? So you may not can play politics too much, you may work right away, and a decision come up the right away, you may work at and you can move forward. Also, me talk with this, me no got one cross one them, you may look government or outside man law or landowners and provincial governments, you know, can benefit. They must benefit, they must fully participate in the management of this. M1. Quickly, issue of elections. Me, I'm a master of government, like in free and fair elections too. Since 1964, you may, I think, self-government igam now, you may have conducted close to some 10 or 11 or 12 elections now. Now, it is proven that we are incapable of delivering a fair, free elections to our nation. It's proven. And, you know, no blame can go to any government, no blame can go to any one person. And you may behavior and a person blame him, you may clearly put him just like I and all issue, you may manage him good. Now, as Prime Minister Moglo Totoklos, and you mean now Tanem Nupla Page for 50 years, the country deserves a break. I think you mean Maskaram or Manlo, I tried to come in the management elections, believe me. Me, I'm Maslo Totoklo, Governor Blow Enga, when he's saying, I have an Australian PPC and he's starting to make a difference. Why am Moglo request him this land? I mean, the government at the time, approve him request plan because they were asking for immunity. And we could not give immunity to Australians and not to our own policemen and women. That was the contention. But I think government is now resolving some blah blah this issue in a working land. And good example straight. You must look, how only can come now him you may. Run him this elections properly. You may change him returning officer close to. Put him all box equal or side. This layer, suppose you may work in work blue, you may give good empower right, that's all. It creates mistrust, perceptions of corruption. Time you may come to this house here. Over the mountain also, you may win and still not come inside of this house. We want to be elected properly. We shouldn't fear about losing. We are still young and strong. You can do other things in life. This is not the only job in this world. Let us do it properly and let us do it for our nation. It's demanding us to change. Let's put our country before ourselves. So, Samla Toto Prime Minister will come land me amamas. People support him. But follow through. No gan troma totok na, laram totok sanab natin, action blame me go la narbla way. People sanab lo sa side lo support him this law. So thank you through Mr. Speaker, give me legally time, work him legally grievance below me. Thank you.
Honorable Governor Blom. Northern.
Thank you to Speaker, give me opportunity to me raise some issues. We got some issues which me too like contribute. Number one, grievance debate itself. I think we've been raising before. It's all grievance debate in class of talk na plenty of good ideas come here now. All months I express him. What happens to these debates? I'm just curious. So, Mr. Speaker, suppose you got one plus system where you can record it, hands at all, but you got one plus system where this grievance debates can be converted into actionable directives or items or suggestions that can go to the relevant ministers and by good law. Some of the ministers do take note, I must acknowledge, and they act upon the issues raised. But I'm just suggesting that this could improve our efforts in ensuring that the ideas that are brought here, the great ideas and thoughts that are brought here by leaders, should be converted into outcomes. It's one legal suggestion law, even law, parliament law here. grievance debate blomi mika tripla. One plan me like talk lo it's la situation where Governor Bloenga and regime lo where I'm got one plan. I'm looking for some performance. Lo PPC Bloen now it contributes significantly. Law and order, law province plan. So if this is the case, then how can other provinces also follow suit? How can other provinces also ensure that this can happen? That we too can get, say, foreign assistance? And does that foreign assistance also come with the resources needed so that the PPCs can also carry out those activities that are needed to be able to manage law and order in their provinces? One issue which me feel also me need lo regime lo here. Me sabe also me got tupla or tripla natla province too only work like simol PPC from what is known as the Commonwealth Government in Australia. Well, how about doing the same for all provinces? I think this would indicate that all people in Papua New Guinea are equal and deserve such attention. So that it should not only be restricted to 1 or 2 or 3 provinces. If something good is working and you trial it as a pilot project and it looks like it's working well, then it makes sense that we should roll it out. And it should happen. Australia itself did this. It undertook an effort to bring in police commissioners from the UK during the 80s as a result of an inquiry into organized crime that had infiltrated federal police commands in Australia. And to address that, what they did was they brought in police commissioners from the UK over a period of time, perhaps 10 or 20 years. And they rebuilt their commands to get them up to a stage where it was acceptable to the people and other stakeholders that law and order was being effectively managed. So Australia, a developed nation, did undertake that effort. So we can do the same. And if it's working well in Enga, then let's see if it should work well in other provinces. But not only bring in PPCs from Australia, but also ensure that the resources that they need to be able to manage law and order are also granted, such as, for example, giving block grants, etc., etc. Because law and order now is the fundamental problem confronting us as a nation. Everything else that we would like to do, all the economic development that we are talking about and dreaming of, this will all be impeded significantly if we do not make the effort to address law and order. So what I'm saying here is to, with what Governor Ipatas is doing and what he has reported on, and other provinces are fortunate to also have, all people in Papua New Guinea are equal, and they all deserve similar services, similar attention. So why not make a decision and say, this is working, let's roll it out throughout the whole country, bring PPCs for every province. And while that's happening, we overhaul our police force. Our police force needs assistance, significant assistance. For example, and this will lead to my next grievance debate subject, which is the subject of transnational crimes. A major problem, not just in Papua New Guinea, but in the region. In fact, just recently, I think in Vietnam, 2 Pacific Islanders were apprehended for carrying out a hit, we'll call it that, in Vietnam as a result of a gang war that's taking place in Sydney, in Australia, involving Pacific Islanders. Pacific Islanders. You'd be surprised that we are now right out there in the world known as getting involved in these activities, these transnational criminal activities. But they're happening right in our back door. All you have to do is look at the news and you see what's happening in Fiji and Samoa and Tonga with drugs coming into our region. And growth of transnational criminal organizations and entities throughout the Pacific. How are we countering that in Papua New Guinea? They're already here. The intelligence assessments that were propagated some 20 years ago warning about this situation, well, that's happened. Those transnational criminal organizations are now here, well established, well entrenched. Papua New Guinea is not just a transit point for drugs, by the way, in case you're wondering. It's now a manufacturing hub. This may come as a surprise to you, but it is. And much of these funds are now being channeled into legitimate businesses. Legitimate businesses. And that is why we are on the radar of the international organizations, and that is why, one of the reasons why we're on the grey list. Because that's happening. Transnational criminal funds, the proceeds of of these criminal activities are now being funneled and channeled into legitimate businesses, investments, hotels and casinos and things like this. How are we going to counter this? I know that the transnational crimes investigations capacity of the police is not what it once used to be. So we need to address that. And I understand that the good minister is making a significant effort, but he needs the support of all of us, especially government, to put more funds into overhauling the police force and ensuring that we do have this capacity so that we can address these growing transnational crimes that are wreaking havoc in our country, in our economy. The transnational crimes are the most destructive crimes ever. And if you talk about a crime that affects a particular area, community, a district, etc., violent crimes, perhaps armed robberies, etc., but they affect only that particular area. Transnational crimes are crimes which affect our entire nation and our future. We've forgotten about the grey list. But what happens when we're on the blacklist? Because we haven't taken action about such things. That's something that we should be cognizant of. The other issue that I wanted to raise or talk about was, I think, addressed already by Governor for East Sepik, and that's about the impending El Nino that's turning out to be possibly the worst in human history. That's what scientists are saying. So how are we preparing for that? How are our people going to be ready for that? They're already facing the impact of climate change and global warming. They're already talking about how the seasons are changing in such a way that they are starting to get confused as to when they would plant their crops and harvest them, etc. It's happening. Rising sea levels, coastal shores being washed away, islands and islets being affected, becoming salinated so they cannot plant crops anymore. And now we have this warning. How are we going to prepare for this? I would recommend that the government put significant effort and attention into preparing all provinces so that all provinces can build disaster management centers. We are doing that in our province. We've allocated funds and we are building a provincial disaster management center, but I want to encourage our government, we will need help. We will need help to prepare for what's going to be happening in the not too distant future. How are we going to address this concern? I would suggest that we look at our partners in the region, especially Australia. They have much experience in handling natural disasters and they have such situations frequently, so they know how to address, how to respond, how to prepare, and we should prepare adequately, accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is my grievance debate. Finally, before I sit down, it's in regards to a debate that, a discussion that was presented here by the Honorable Joe Lelang in regards to the Bilum project, and I will once more take note of the debate by our good Minister for Public Service, Mr. Joe Sungi. Minister, as I said earlier, this project needs to be rolled out. If we trial something and it seems to be working, then don't just restrict it to one district or one province. Roll it out throughout the entire country. So in this instance, with this Bilum project, can you make it mandatory that all provincial administrators, this becomes a part of their KPIs, that they adopt this Bilum system? So all provinces, all districts must have these reporting systems in place. The good Minister for Mining raised a very good point. The process of acquittals is very cumbersome and very costly. You have to pay for the public servants to come on the ground, to be accommodated, to compile all these reports, and then travel back to Port Moresby. It's a very lengthy, costly process, which could all be resolved quite easily if we just had this system in place in all districts and all provinces. So rather than inviting districts and provinces to make the effort to come and see if they can be part of this, make it mandatory. All the administration should have this system in place. And then let them reach out to the districts, and the districts can then put these systems in place as well. And they be forced to write quarterly reports and present those quarterly reports in time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate
time to finish. Honourable Member of North Bougainville.
Thank you, Thomas. Whole morning, Miss Anna, but thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You plus have 1 plus all staff, 2 plus all staff, but thank you, Mr. Speaker. 3 plus staff, 2 plus staff. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for giving me time. Lo me marking all Mama Blo Bougainville na papu ni kini tu na North Bougainville. Me thank you past time long this group government, Minister, Prime Minister Marape, Deputy Blongem. Thank you again, long halivim, you give him the Bougainville. Long time, long, this is strong pla win, Maila. Good pla halivim, mi pla wok lo tilima dili kai kai, it's the time. Because lo how the situation long, mi pla lo Bougainville, not Bougainville especially. Because me look out him border, Blo Solomon Islands. Me look out him border, go to New Island, come down to Millen Bay. So again, I'm a big pla, electorate when me mark him long him, the biggest electorate, open electorate, long whole country, Papua New Guinea. Thank you too much, Rilik Halivim, you were able to give, long this time, me harim planti de tok long this El Nino, it would be the second largest compared to the one that had been come up long 1870. Where planti blo imino stop at the time, but all save man, he walk lo tok now we compare him, this here big heavy by come up compared to the one that came out in 1870. So me harim governor blo isipik to talk planti long him too. Me like tromo riglik tok on top long all tok him governor blo me walking Penis, regional member walking Penis, long this walk about long Bougainville. Like I always say, let's not shy away from this. Let's take a vote. Whether you by voting yes long, supporting me, na people below me, or you vote him no, regional member below me, regional member below me, I'm talking Pinisitelo morning. Me like encourage him, you me the soul is la parliament. When the report is tabled next week, Tuesday, by Chairman of the Committee of Bougainville, me like him, you me harem good this a talk. Harem want them open mind, let's be open mind about it. Listen to what the chairman is going to table next week, Tuesday, and hopefully time we may take him this report next week. Me harim longen, harim want them open heart, open him heart blow you, open him mind blow you, and let's listen to what the report is going to table next week. By me report me harim longen. Temperature member blow me and talk all same. If we are going to vote a yes, but you vote him yes blow on something. But you vote him yes, long good pressing down long behind time. Long tupla, Bougainville and Papua New Guinea. Time you vote him no blow you by bring him one them good pla, by bring him one them challenge you come inside. Long me yet, me have talk like this. It's an issue that me like him all get the elected members, long this parliament, long Papua New Guinea parliament, long you me he must take him vote, an honest vote. An honest vote. If you vote no, long this time. Belong want him something true, but you vote no as an elected member. Suppose you vote yes. Where me play Bougainville like him, but me play look him vote yes. And belong want him, why but you vote yes? Long you heard him story, you look him heavy, me play pili me coming up now. Vote blow you lo yes, and by God big play half him. Long sit down him good. This relationship na me long Papua New Guinea and Bougainville. Suppose you vote no too. Vote no blow you by meaning one something. So long time me sanap lo here, me like him. You me all get sit down lo here. The parliament that made a decision long Hamas Christmas ago Pinis in 1989, you sabe, me no can repeat him story. You know what happened on Bougainville. Suppose you know clear good, find time to understand what happened in Bougainville. Find time to come up with the figures of what atrocities were committed on Bougainville. Find time this weekend. Long you go stop on the party blow you. Now you scale him. Which direction, which way are you going to vote? But you vote no, or but you vote yes. Suppose you vote yes. And me no mean but you losing thing lo me. And begin near. You had a responsibility. You will continue to have a responsibility. Making sure that Bougainville and me work about good. There is no way by you cut him one umbilical cord you got long Bougainville. We have a responsibility. This parliament, this nation has a responsibility. Make him good Bougainville. Make him good Bougainville. Mire Bougainville. You and by meaning on him. Suppose you vote no. Na planti go lo site lo no. But you bla brusi mi na go lo no. No blow you by meaning money. So lo mi yet mi sanap lo here. Me like to again. Have him time to pray about it this weekend. Have him time to meet with Bougainvilleans that will be your friends and your families. Listen to their stories. Make him time to sit amongst yourselves and seriously think about which way by you vote. Like me play talk long time you me mo bung long last parliament session. And I said, let's take a vote. Which way the vote is going to come out in Legislative Chamber, take a vote. You may not wait. Let's make a decision. I would love to see this parliament, this government. You go down the history that it was a parliament that had the strength, that had the decision, that made a decision to be able to bring to the floor of parliament this 98.7 vote from people of Bougainville. No can larim na parliament di kam vote him. We are able to make that decision as the 11th parliament. And we can make that decision. And we will make the decision come next week. Take that vote. You can put it. Take that vote. So PNG can know, so Bougainville can know as well. Take that vote. Again, me talk thank you that, Mr. Speaker, you giving me time. Look, I'm talk. I believe every time I stand up, all by talk, and by talk again, lo this la walk. Now, me talk lo one is something again. Now, me come talk this la walk about independence. Yeah? Now, you less no harim lo them because this is the parliament that made that choice. This is the parliament that had been talk no got to what the people of Bougainville wanted. And we have learned from Bougainville in terms of making sure that all resources go back to people. Whatever you come out in the one kind ground, you make sure that the landowner benefits. If you were to take a little trip down to Bougainville and go up to Panguna, but you show me one good plus something, and this mine has been built for my people in the 25 years that have been operated, Mr. Speaker. Now I'm a grandmother. I am still traveling, Mr. Speaker. I am still traveling on the roads that I used to travel on as a child. I'm still traveling on the roads unsealed. You got liglig hab seal stuff. How you losing thing me? How could that mine not seal all the roads in Bougainville? How could that mine not be able to put something good for me and my people? A college. Something good for my youth. This parliament, it's learning from what you declared in 1989. You learn him lesson long now, yeah? But I had to lose 25,000 plus lives for this nation to learn. Yes, that's what happened. Well, brother Susablamilo Parliament. Yes, PNG, this is what happened. I had to lose 25,000 plus lives for us to be able to make those tough decisions and make sure that our people benefit from what resources it come up inside on ground. Me yet people blow me yet. No go one plus something. You run low highway. Stony stop yet. Now time me talk lo bridge crossing Buka passes. Everybody thought, what a stupid woman to be raising that stupid question. It is a question that by me behind him yet. Give to Bougainville something and we can talk. At least someone cares. At least if you voted yes when it came, suppose you come to parliament, and by showing me, at least someone cares. Vote for me. Now you walk about one time me. Long you me send down good people below me. Now send down good this passing papa mama, passing family inside na namerlong PNG na Bougainville. Me no kam lo kam to cross me talk. Barely see by star one day you me this weekend. And I pray that all of us take a bit of time and do some soul searching as to how you and your people are going to vote come Tuesday, or come Wednesday, or come Thursday next week. Me ask him again before me sit down. Me like him barely see blow you. Honesty blow you. Love blow you. Your compassion when you listen to that report next week to be tabled by my chairman, Honorable Mara. Vote blow you. Yes or no? And people belong Bougainville by Isave Longem. People of PNG too, all by Isave Longem. How you vote him. Like blow Susa blow you, like blow Papa blow you, like blow Mama blow you, na family blow you inside of Bougainville. you na protocol sem Salo Bougainville, everybody sitting here, every honorable parliamentarian sitting here, you are related to Bougainville one way or the other. One way or the other. Now time you giving me na ito, okay mama, you go. Na you go running really gaman you. You are not going to cut that link off. We are not going to cut that link off. You are giving me an opportunity to be able to me, threatening me to lose 25,000 plus lives in that war, not a civil unrest. It was a war. And that was the only war after the Second World War.
Honorable member,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I am on that 10 minute blue and finish now.
We are not apply, you know, give more 10 minutes, you give more than 10 minutes.
No, I want
Mr. Speaker, thank you.
But you look at kilo, you come no friend.
Thank you, you read him kilo. Emi Bruce him time.
So,
But
me now.
Miss Anaplo morning, you know, giving me time, but thank you, give me time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Governor Blong. Plan the governor is up, plan the jubilation up. But me ask him, Governor Blong is President, yes.
Thank you, Speaker Long. Look sawe long. Ibla to line long is nibidan. Thank you. Iga toka masa solong lo mi long. We mi like talk thank you lo maki mo line lo mi bla lo province. Lo recent disaster mi bla bina go through long en mi like walking really talk Dr. Sol. Passing through me like walking people talk thank you. I today acknowledge and sincerely thank the national government, development partners, disciplinary forces, and the wider corporate community during the recent disaster tropical cyclone Maila, which is in Misawa Pinisi province of Mipla. On behalf of the province, the people of East Nibidan, I extend heartfelt appreciation to the national government through the National Disaster Office. Honorable Dr. Billy been in contact on the Mipla place. The PNG Defense Force, police, Mipla, health workers, emergency responders, and all frontline personnel who stood beside our people during the most difficult period in our province's history. I wish to acknowledge the support from the international partners, including governments of Australia, New Zealand, United States of America, European Union, together with the churches, NGOs, and members of the corporate community who provided timely assistance to our people. Sadly, East Nibidan, this time been losing 12 lives as a result of the disaster. One from Rabaul, one block Kokopo, 10 block long inland mining, Logesel district where one block and been one block Mamak, and min okarin piginet na go down Logadan, and la palanin pinat na ground karamab mem na come back and Laos. So we will pass him, people talk sorry lodisla or land will lose him life. The experience has also highlighted the importance of strengthening our disaster preparedness, response coordination, early warning systems in climate resilience measures, not only in East Nibidan but all throughout the country, as now we are in with the El Nino by facing in the recent next few months. There are many lessons to learn from Cyclone Maila as related disaster become more frequent, severe, and we must continue to invest in preparedness, strengthen coordination between all levels of governments to ensure communities are better equipped for future emergencies. Once again, we like talk thank you, Prime Minister, our line inside the National Executive Council, talk all right, we like some assistance. He come down as now we go through the recovery phase. Also, Mr. Speaker, please allow me to also acknowledge him. One important milestone for the province, East Nibidan, this Sunday, 31st of May province we celebrating 49th anniversary of provincial government, meaning we were the first province in 31st of May 1977 for national government granting me provincial government status. So I like talk thank you Ladisla. And I also thank you long the former leaders long province, the LLG presidents, or board members, over the line, the public servants, and people place, make sure people work inside the provincial government for the last 49 years. So we talk thank you for support. I come along national government, and again through our discussions through governors forums, or other conventions we have been having, discussions about the autonomy. We talk thank you too long. The 14 functions that have been already transferred, they come back to provinces. So, big look province through autonomy, as well as the other 2 or 3 provinces been mentioned in the past. So, I think one time this we like talk on behalf again long the people of East Rebellion. We like talk thank you, law country, long assistance like Hamlo or people bla thank you.
Honorable Member of Law. Oh, I'm still Minister Defense. Yeah. Yo. Minister Amu, you shall have. CIE looks available.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me Aramogara Toto, especially lo disaster lo cyclone Maila na El Nino emi like come close to. Na me talk thank you lo you look saved because government lo make him some work penis. Na me need also give him some report lo this plan what we are doing in preparation for this El Nino that is coming as well. But firstly, me like to thank you long our leaders, Lol Fapla, Sevembla province affected by Cyclone Maila. We work very closely together with the national government and the provincial government and our leaders to attend to the effects of that cyclone. Myself and the Prime Minister, Mibla bin Golong, Milne Bay province, thank you to the governor of Milne Bay and the leaders there, Mibla Go, Misima, Budi, Alatau, Golong Russell Islands, good enough. Now, me looking effects, this disaster, and me very serious and very severe. I would like to also pass sincere condolences to those people who has lost their lives in this disaster. And as a province, Milugamal province, disaster response and preparedness is very important at the provincial level. Milugamal Milne Bay, the way you respond was very effective because they have a very good provincial structure. And I want to commend all the provincial governments who said go past na Alpim Yumi, East New Britain, Governor, thank you long you, West New Britain, New Ireland, the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, Oro, Morro Bay, Namanus, and national government, he completely retiring this 35 million. Kamla Yumi long address him effects law Cyclone Maila, me ask him Yumi to make sure that this money may come. All governors must work on them all. DDAs now, all LLGs to make sure that this effect or how you may attend to these effects of climate change. Now disaster must go, money must go to this work straight. Plenty time, maybe I give money nothing, now maybe I no follow through. Now some of the time, you got a bruise, lo money say come up. So because of climate change, the effects, long any make him now, the disasters that are coming are happening frequently, more sustained, and also happening simultaneously, and they're very severe. Me, Abrusim Cyclone Maila, and now you meet talk long El Nino and Bakam. So please, me appeal you me at the national government at the disaster office. We're working very closely with our bilateral partners, NGOs and UN agencies to make sure that we get all the support that we can and we push it down to you, the provincial governments. That is how our law has been set up, so that at the district and the local level and provincial level, the first responders are the provinces and the districts. When there is a natural disaster, the provincial administrator becomes the chairperson of the disaster committee. And so please, me, Dr. Ingilong, Governor Bloro too, that he's already set up. He's talked to me about it, and me set him up a provincial disaster management committee belonging. They're building an office there as well. So that is the kind of level of preparedness that all the provincial governments, law country, by many lawmaking moving forward. We have to prepare, because if we prepare, then by me respond properly when there is a disaster. No province in this country is spared. Miplalo Highlands, Mipla sa Tingos, and Mipla not looking disaster. But tribal earthquake been come up law 98, 2008, 19, or 2019. Beg your pardon. Long Southern Highlands hela gosem na Mipla looking plan the big heavy me come up. You may look him landslide come up la Mulitaka. So that goes to show that all the districts, all the provincial governments, you may need to put in some money aside long disaster too. You may not going to wait long national government or so. So in our preparedness for disasters, not just the ones that we are facing now, but because of the effects of climate change, we expect more disasters to come. And therefore, me asking you, all provincial governments, DDAs, LLGs, we have to work together with the National Disaster Office and the national government to set up our disaster preparedness and response capability. As I speak, the NEC or government has recognized the need to ramp up our effort to prepare and respond to disasters. And as such, NEC may approve this National Emergency Management Authority to be set up. So Governor Oroy Mitokpinis, we are now moving towards what Australia, New Zealand and the USF. Australia and New Zealand have the National Emergency Management Authorities. The US have what they call the Federal Emergency Management Authority. So we're working very closely, especially with Australia and New Zealand, to set up our version of the NEMA. And the bill is ready, committee has been set up, NEMA bill is ready, and the policy that goes with the bill is also ready for tabling on this floor. So that is some progress that we have made in this space. With regards to the El Nino or Super El Nino that is predicted, I can confirm that we're getting from the scientists in the USA, they call it the US National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and our own National Weather Service are telling us that there will be a potentially unprecedented El Nino that is developing in the Pacific Ocean with 82% certainty. The last time we had El Ninos, a Super El Nino was in around 1870, almost more than 100 years ago. And we had El Ninos in 84, 83, 84, 97, 98, 2015, 2016, and now we expected to have a very serious Super El Nino. And this phenomenon will definitely threaten and disrupt global weather patterns, and it will push the temperatures very high. So El Nino refers to a sustained period of warmer than average sea surface temperatures across the central and eastern Pacific. It requires the surface temperature of the ocean to go above 0.5 degrees Celsius, and the normal range of the sea surface temperature is between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. So scientists are predicting that it will go above 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, and that is why they are predicting that we will potentially have a Super El Nino with an 82% predictability. This will happen somewhere around June and July. It will peak November, December this year and going towards January, February and March of 2027. It's with a predictability of 86%, so it is most likely to happen. So what are the consequences of a super El Nino? It causes catastrophic global weather extremes, including severe droughts, intense heat waves and wildfires, tropical storms and flooding that inflicts trillions of dollars in economic damages across the world, and PNG will not be spared. So in summary, El Nino is likely to emerge soon and will continue through to 2026-27 with a 96% predictability. What is the effect that is likely to have on our government and the economy? This super El Nino is likely to cause macroeconomic shocks. Inflation and food security will be an issue. Droughts in agricultural powerhouses, especially in Australia, Southeast Asia, and the sub-Saharan Africa, will depress crop yields and push global food prices. As we have seen in the Ukraine-Russia war, PNG will not be spared from this. Energy and power grid crisis, scorching temperature spikes, electricity demand for cooling, and as we have seen, the Sierra Number dams, when the water level falls, it affects our electricity. Supply chain disruptions, extreme weather events delay shipping routes, ruin infrastructure, and can run down crucial industrial operations like mining. Our Octarian mine depends on the Fly River, and we're talking about the Papua LNG. They're also depending on the Purari River as well as a form of transport. And so those operations will also be affected. So what are we doing here as a government and by the National Disaster Center? By our standard operation procedure, Mr. Speaker, we have activated the early action protocol, and officers from the National Disaster Center have...
Honorable Minister, MCA interrupting you now. Ikut plan nunggut you must prepare one blast statement ni paso deslana. You can present in the Parliament lo next sitting. I mean, the Parliament. But me interrupting you now. Say interrupting you. Time finish. Time to the standing order. It all same too. So now, by me propose him that the grievance be noted. Those in favor say aye. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I ask leave of Parliament to move a motion without notice.
Is leave granted? Leave granted. Minister, Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the leave of absence be granted to A. Mr. Lucas Dekena, Minister for Education, B. Mr. Theo Pelgan, Member for Nawai Open Electorate, and C. Mr. Akime Gurushau, Member for Daulo Open Electorate, for the decorum of this meeting due to ill health.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Parliament do now adjourn until Tuesday, 2nd of June, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, before me adjourn in Parliament, me like talk sabe lo imi lo am le lig talk sabe ta so. To sabe mi olsem. Me believe you me og da member no like look im olsem. Parliament president o area blo Parliament ni gamapol 19 street lo boroko laga. Boroko pot mos mi min olsem time ito olsem em buai pula blo desla. mi kam na mi lukim plandi o sambla blu yimi member iwolo kay boy inside lo president lo parliament. Na time yimi making plandi all driver na all support staff lo yimi will come to only walk him to. Na me just like reminding you bla also section 108 lo constitution when you block oksim na kandim. Subsection 1 the speaker am responsible lo keep him president lo parliament, look out him controlling president lo parliament by another act of the parliament also lo section 15 and 16 lo parliamentary powers the privileges committee act. Speaker got this la power. Can directly musat man na remove mem lo president lo parliament musat na member of lo member of parliament. Na you don't have same go court lo display. So now me wogim to say talk sabe, but me wogim get talk sabe lo tune can time you me come parliament come sit down same. But me ask him, or say me all the member, he me respect him display stop. Now all of South to lo parliament, kus one more line blow to plan the time me sabe make him document paper some lapitis. Lo kay boy na smoke lo parliament. At time you lead I walk him, I'm all two look him, now like make him because you lead I make him up. So one them this fly. Parliament now is adjourned. You go at 10 o'clock morning long Tuesday next week.